Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue with the birthday people, with the Taurus idols, and I'm going to dedicate today's reading to GOT7 Bambam. So yes, this is going to be a reading for him. I don't remember actually if I have read individually for him. I believe I have, but I don't know. Maybe this is my first time, like first reading for him in the year. So let's do this. I'm excited. Let's remember a bit about his energy. He is a Taurus sun with the moon in Pisces. He has a lot of flexibility and adaptability, so it's great for an artist, actually. Um, and the cards that he got the Ace of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Moon, the Judgment, and the Four of Wands. I think that it's interesting that we start the reading with wands. We start with the Ace of Wands, that it's a very fiery and passionate beginning. So probably, the beginning of this year was very like exciting for him, like new adventures, new possibilities, like a lot of action. And then we also end this spread with the Four of Wands. So definitely here the wands are like somehow reminded me that no matter what goes on in the middle of his journey, of his personal journey, he will always find the motivation to keep going. But I think that it's interesting actually to see that here with the Four of Cups, and the Moon card, I can sense his moon in Pisces actually being here, because I think that there's something about Bambam's energy that somehow lets me know that he goes through periods where he feels numb inside. The four of the Four of Cups. It's a card that talks about feeling numb, like feeling not not feeling a bit empty, and actually like yes, having possibilities, possibly like having offers, but not being satisfied, or actually not feeling like actually that excitement to be like, oh wow, look what I got, or look at this opportunity. I think that he starts, whenever he starts a project, he probably feels very excited about it. And I think that he is someone that he tends to show himself as someone that is always like very excited, maybe a bit energetic. Like honestly, I don't know much about Bam Bam because I used to watch GOT7's content when in the rookie era, in like when also BTS was a rookie, when I started the journey to get to know BTS, and I also I followed GOT7 as well. In those era, like I remember like following their content, but then I don't know much about them, about the I know the group's circumstances right now, like I know what they're going through, but I don't remember much about Bam Bam's personality. So maybe if you're a fan, you can guide me through this or educate me if I'm mistaken about something. But from the what the cards are showing me, there's this sense of like like he does have this first very passionate an excited nature, but on the inside, actually, he's very different, And actually, I could say he's a bit like a kind of a person that he tends to get his energy very drained, especially when he's by himself or when he is not working. He probably goes through moments of feeling actually a bit like pessimist, or a bit like not so happy. There's something here with the moon card also that is about our hidden emotions, fears, our unconscious fears, those things that we don't want it to come to light. So I think that his inner world is very emotional, it's very deep, and it's very different from what we see of him on stage. You probably, when you see him on stage, you see him like always being like this happy, happy, you know, happy virus, like very happy, very outgoing, very funny, like laughing out loud all the time. But then it seems like when he's by himself, his energy all of a sudden drops, like he's not that, he's a bit more calm, and probably he's a bit more like, he sometimes feels sad, there's this feeling of a bit of nostalgia, a bit of, like having a lot of fears actually. Um, but he is overcoming this. But I think that what is important is for the cars here in the middle is to understand that they somehow are also part of his development, as a person, of his own identity. That is not all fun and games with him, or at least with his emotional nature. He probably is a person that when he is not working or when he is by himself, he tends to worry a lot. Probably he doesn't show it to others because we have the moon here. So I think that probably if he shows himself like being very energetic, it's because somehow he's hiding something. I think this is something that he doesn't want others to know, that he is not that like energetic as people think of him or something like that. That he also goes through moments where he doubts himself a lot. And probably he's going through this period of also because we have the judgment. So he's also like going through a period where he also has to do some changes in himself, and somehow the judgment card is calling him to do some changes, and he is a Taurus, so for him changes, it's not that he fears changes, it's just that he goes through the first period of not feeling very confident about like, okay, like what am I going to do, because I think that he does have options. I think that he does networking, he knows people, he is sociable. This is why we have like a lot of ones here, because I think that he's not a shy guy, he's not a reserved guy, but somehow he does worry when he's by himself. He's probably a bit worried about his future, and I think that probably this also has to do with the solo projects, or actually feeling the pressure of, okay, okay, you're going solo, you're having your projects, but maybe the results that he's getting is not what he wants. He probably wanted to reach a lot more level of notoriety, or actually being a bit more successful, or gaining a bit more, and actually probably the performance, or the uh, the his work didn't do that well. I remember he released something, I don't know if it was this year or last year, but I don't know how it did in the charts. Like I don't know much about that. But there's this sense of like, I'm not satisfied yet. Like I'm still in this process. And also think that sometimes he's a bit indecisive. Like I think that for him to make a decision sometimes it makes him a bit like the kind of person that actually is like, please don't ask me to choose because I cannot choose. Like I cannot choose, like don't give me options because I cannot choose. Like like, but I think that this has to do about his own identity, probably because when you are part of a group, somehow the decisions is up to a lot of people. So when you are by yourself, or when you are focused on something that is only about you, and you are the face, you are the representation, you are the one, carrying this project, there's a lot of responsibility. So maybe he is like, yeah, I'm excited about this new beginning, but sometimes I do not know what to do, or somehow I need someone to tell me what to do. Like I think that he feels better when he has people advising him, because somehow he gets confused. And also I think that he's surrounded by a lot of people, but somehow he feels lonely. Definitely I sense that he does have contacts, he does have people around him willing to help him. But there's also this sense of they don't know me. There's this sense of, oh, yes, I'm surrounded by a lot of people, but they don't really know me. Like they don't understand me, or I don't let myself be myself in front of them. This is why the moon is here, because there's this sense of secrecy, of like what we hide in the shadows, you know. And then yes, we have the judgment. So something about this has to change. And of course, he's this sort of like of him being a bit apathic is going to change, because he does have the judgment. So he's probably going to be celebrating something very soon. And he's going to connect again with excitement and with the joy. I think he's waiting for this. I think that, he's a guy that he can actually work by himself, like he can do it. Like there's nothing that he cannot do actually. He's a great performer. He has a lot of presence. He's very funny. He has the passion. He also has great presence. But there's something about him wanting to share with others. This reminds me a bit about Jackson's energy. When I read for Jackson, it was the same. Like these guys, they are doing great by themselves. It's not that they are like, oh, I need the group, I need to be in a group, but somehow they are these kind of people that they do need others. They do need the others to somehow lift them up. They do miss the connection with others. Like, they can work by themselves, they can be great at it, but at the end, he has the Four of Wands. So if he does accomplish something big, he wants to share it with others. Because the Four of Wands is about celebration. It's about you coming together with other people. I think that these other people has to do with the other members, with the GOT7 members. There's this need of, I need us to be together. I need us to celebrate. Like, I think that he's like waiting for this to happen. I think that he knows that it's going to happen. Probably he does have information. I don't know if GOT7 had like confirmed that they are having a comeback, but there's this sense of him actually like also like probably like pushing a lot of solo projects that are being offered to him, so he can actually concentrate on being with the members or being with others, and probably, I think that there's also this sense of, okay, if it's not the group, maybe collaborating with others, with other people. But there's this sense of him not wanting to do things alone, and I think that this is very like intimate, somehow, because I think that, Bambam is a Taurus, and I think that he is a guy that he's young, he has the energy, he has the potential. It's not about not having, it's about preferring, it's about preference. When you have to work on your own because you're all by yourself and you're like, okay, yes, I know what I have to do, I know I can do it. But if you ask me, what do I want? I want to work with others. Like I miss teamwork. I miss getting ready, sharing points of view, like sharing a moment, celebrating with others. Like he needs to get that contagious, that to be in that atmosphere of being with others, not celebrating by himself. But this is also like a process, this is why the judgment is here. This is all about maturing and adapting to change. His life is changing, and everything about his life and situations and circumstances has been going through major changes. So it's normal for him to somehow sometimes being a bit fearful about what's to come, or about the now. Like, okay, what do I do now? Do I wait? Do I release something? Do I take this offer? Do I collaborate with others? Because I have the sense that he is not a person that he's worried about not getting opportunities. I actually see a lot of opportunities, but he's not taking those opportunities. He's like being hesitant, or he's been indecisive on purpose. It seems like he's procrastinating as well. He's like choosing not to choose, and being like, oh, yes, I will think about it. Like, yes, I will call you. Yes, I will let you know. And he never does. So somehow it's like the judgment card here is like, come on, like, don't be that pessimistic. You're going to have your chance again, your chance to celebrate, your chance to be reunited with the others and celebrate. Because somehow I think that this is what he wants. That this is, I think that this is probably something that a lot of members want, but somehow he's a bit nostalgic about it. I don't know if he tends to be emotional. I don't know about his personality, but he seems to be like he feels reassured when he's with others. There's this sense of, I need the others, I need my teammates. And also he's very intuitive. He's very intuitive, and he knows about about business. He always tries to show, like I mentioned in the beginning, he always tries to show this very optimistic and uplifting energy. He doesn't let others see the sensitive side of him, but actually he's very sensitive. He's a very sensitive guy. This is why we have the cups here, we have the moon card, because he does have a very deep emotional world. So somehow, even though he doesn't like others to know, he's very intuitive. He's a bit of an empath in the sense that he knows things. He's very connected to his like unconscious somehow. And somehow, like, being this sensitive scares him. It scares him because it somehow like makes him feel like he's floating in the air. Like he's not grounded. He needs to be grounded because he's a Taurus, but somehow maybe his moon in Pisces is like calling him to actually acknowledge his intuition. That the intuition is there, that gift is available for him, and that if he chooses to ignore his intuition, it seems like his intuition, like, somehow, if he doesn't take advantage of this potential, it can turn into irrational fears, like being very fearful, being hesitant, being indecisive, being a bit like, being evasive, like, not knowing what to do. There's something about him, like, actually, when he's by himself, being a bit like, not paranoid, but he is a bit like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to carry on with this. Like, this is why he needs others, somehow to push him, to push him. But it's because probably he has to do that. He had been in the industry for quite a while. So probably he had seen a lot of things, or there are a lot of things about the industry that he's realizing now, that yes, everything is fun, but it doesn't, the thrill and the excitement doesn't last too long. And probably he does feel lonely from time to time. But, the Judgment and the Four of Wands here at the end definitely lets me know that he's going to celebrate something that he had been waiting for quite a while to do. So I don't know about a possible comeback, but it seems like he's going to achieve something very big, because there's going to be celebration here. There's going to be union, celebration with your loved ones, and enjoying yourself. So he's going to be able to enjoy this very much. So I'm really excited for him. I'm happy how this spread develop, because actually, you know, the deep part it's in the middle, but actually the beginning and the end are very like, his energy is ready, you know, his body, his predisposition, like his energy is ready to do the work, but is his emotional world that he also needs to pay attention more. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. So um I'll see you in my next video. Bye.